Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to Retail Merchandising. Today we'll be covering Chapter 14, Purchasing Terms. We've talked about inventory, we've talked about accounting. These are all previous chapters. Price, how do I set my prices, and the correlation it has with inventory. Now, we've got the inventory, we have all that. Now we're coming to the end. We're in Chapter 14, have a couple more chapters, we'll be finished with this series. So when I'm looking at purchasing agreement, now how do I negotiate as a buyer, as a retailer, or a department head with my vendors to get the best price for my products so I could resell them to my customer? Remember, if I get the best price, and that's true, we'll find out through discounting, through some kind of a promotional campaign, through how do I handle small shipments, certain dating. When I say dating, it's not like going out dating. If I have a discount, 30-10, that means in 10 days if I pay it, I get 10% off or 2% off, whatever it says. But in 30 days I pay the full amount. And all of those discounts is to bring the cash flow in to the vendor, but also I could get a savings. If I could utilize the discounts properly, or utilizes the service that the vendor provides me to offset some of my own expenses, this in return will lower my expenses, which will increase my gross margin or my profitability for that piece of merchandise or that product line or that clothing line. Okay, so you're either taking me an online class or a face-to-face class, and this is a supplement to the reading material that you have to read. Remember, read the book. Well, first open up my concept maps. They're in a PDF file. You have the second tier. You read it just like if you're taking a lecture. You add your notes in there, and then you listen to this recording. Gives you an overview. I don't go into details. If you don't understand it, I go real quickly. I have a lot of material. If you can see here, I try to keep it underneath an hour. And now you read it, so you had the first initial exposure. Then you took your notes. Now you're connecting your senses with it. Adding your senses so you could water the seed, for lack of a better word. And then the more you hear it, the more you discuss it in the lectures and discuss it in the forums. Now it becomes part of you. It becomes part of in your memory banks, hopefully in your long term. So when you need it, you'll be able to retrieve it. There's a lot of formulas. There's a lot of concepts going to come out here. When do I buy? Similar to all the other formulas that you've been learning about when we're talking about accounting or finance. Do not be afraid. Remember the formulas. Some you will use more than others. Some, at least, you know how. One thing in business, you know how to retrieve the formulas. Here's what I'm looking at. The whole thing is that now you're getting a good, solid foundation, so you understand the different things that are available. Harper College, there's a class once in a while I'll teach, is Mkt106. It basically prepares students who've been out of the math field for a while, the adding and everything else, to prepare them for taking accounting, taking finance classes, or just generally understanding the math. And they cover in detail the whole math side that we're just going to be brushing here in this retail merchandising class. That's many of you are in the fashion merchandising program, and this is a required course of a business course. Some of you have taken Intro to Business or business organizations and some advertising, marketing. You need all those. Remember, I said I'm a double major, management and marketing. You have to know how to market yourself, market your product, market your store, but you also have to know how to manage that, by time and everything else. Good idea, but how do I manage it? How do I bring it into the logistics? Chapter 13, we're talking about planning and sales and everything else. So now we're going to talk about your negotiating skills. A lot of people who are creative are very creative. They've got that skill. They have good communication, but they don't like to really negotiate or fight with somebody out there. That's not in their nature. They're more of a free spirit type of an individual. In business, don't look at it I'm fighting someone. Look at it more like I'm trying to get the best. Well, it's not even a negotiation. Don't look at it as a fight. Look at it as a win-win situation. They want me to carry their products. I want to get something for me to carry their product. I may want to, at first I may not have any leverage. You're going to find out. a brand new business, but so they're going to help me out. And so don't ask for the sky. You're not giving them anything else. You know what I mean? So they're going to help you out. And, you may want new equipment. You say, hey, you're a new business. We don't know if you'll succeed. You may be able to rent a business for rent equipment, or they may give you better credit ratings or something else, or they may give you a break at the beginning because you're a new venture starting off, and they're trying to bring you in, to increase their own sales, just like you're trying to increase your sales in your retail merchandising. Vendors want to increase their sales to their customer base to sell the products to. So it's a win-win, and if you're starting off and you do well, and they're the only ones who gave you a break, the vendors, most likely you'll try to repay them as you're growing, and you'll stick with them to a point. Remember, when you take the logistics and business, you may be a very quiet person at home with family. Here, this is your job, this is your livelihood, or you're working for someone. So now you're taking the role of, if you're a department head, you may have a buyer, but you have to go tell them, here, your price is too high, you got to cut down on this, find me a better cost per unit for each merchandise or something, whatever. But you have to negotiate. So you don't have to be rude to negotiate, but think what you want and look at it and try to give and take a little. Just like, when you're doing your artistic design. Yeah, that doesn't look right. But this is all the material I have because I'm on a low budget or whatever, so I can make it work. So you try to use your creativity and your flexibility, but also try to use your communication and be aware of what discounts are out there. Okay? I get some comments from some of my students that say, Dr. George, we've listened to some other recordings. They read off a script. You know what I mean? So they're looking at it and they got a script and they're reading word for word. So it's very, I don't know, maybe professional, very planned. Scripted, for lack of a better word. The way I present the material here is similar to how I would be presented it within the classroom. So if you're taking me for an online, this is how I would communicate to the class. You notice sometimes you'll see my grandson who lives with me. He'll walk in, you see his little head, and then he'll walk out because he knows to be quiet. He gets to the pop or wherever he wants to go, and he walks back out. So I could edit that, or sometimes I'll get stuck on a word. I could edit that, but I can't edit that if I'm in real life. So part of the whole thing, I try to bring you the teaching, not just a scripted word for word. You get that from the book you're reading. I'm trying to put my emotions, my feelings. Sometimes I mess up, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I may just turn the numbers around. Those who've watched me before, I'm a little dyslexic. But that's fine. I've worked with it. It's just a different way of processing. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not ashamed of it because as I mentioned before, it helps other people who have some kind of disability. And so you can handle it. You just got to be able to adjust to it and work with it. Use your creative side. So this is how you get. So I may lecture a little bit at the beginning, break the thing, but now we're going to go into the lecture. Remember, there's on this one is how do I negotiate? And you have to negotiate because if you get good prices, you get good contract, or you have them do something. It's a two-way street, just like you would do in any kind of relationship. You want to keep your vendor happy, and they want to keep you happy because as you grow, you're going to buy more from them because you got that relationship with them. So, but you have to get the good prices. Don't be a patsy. Don't be intimidated. People are very shy maybe at home, but at work, this is my role. I'm just what I'm getting paid for. And then when you give them the card, they expect the buyer to be a negotiator. They expect a business owner. Look at the small business owners. Yeah, they're negotiating. Hey, wait a minute. How much is it going to cost me? I can't just give it. You can't just sell me and I get stuck with something because I can't sell. I can't make any money off of it. I'm here to run a business, and my employees look at that also. Okay, so let's look at the introduction. All right, are we good? So we have a lot of information. I'll try to keep it underneath an hour. I'll go through fast of it. Remember, you have to read the book. I'm just covering over. You read it, you looked at it. This is just like an icing on the cake, for lack of better words. All right, what's the introduction? What do we have here? Effective retail buyer. That's you. You're a buyer with your owner. You play those roles. I'm an owner. I'm a buyer. I'm a president. I'm an HR person. I'm everything. So those of you who are in retail merchandising and your own boutique, take the management class and take marketing. You need both. There's no way around it. Okay. So what is an effective buyer? Buyer seeks. Here, let me just make this a bit bigger. Okay, I'll zoom back in here so everyone could see it. All right, remember, use the concept maps after you've read it to see what you've missed. And this is a good way to see the whole picture. I think here I have like 65 slides. That's a lot of slides, but I give you a lot of information. So you could either stop me, because I'm going faster in the classroom. You can't pick it up. I go next slide because I have so much material to carry. Those who have me in the classroom, sometimes they say, Dr. George, you talk very normal and slow online. I do that until I see the clock running up and I gotta speed it up, just like I do in the classroom. But you can always stop me, move me ahead, cursor back. That's the lovely thing. And remember, just because you see it one time, the more you can listen to it, it'll sink in here. That's what you're trying to do. But you still have to read the material. It's not going to make any sense unless you read the material. This is just an outline of what you've read. Okay, seeks the best buying terms in order to save money for the customers, right? I could pass that savings down to them, gives me more customers, expands my business, and maximizes profit. Bottom line is profit. Look, if I don't have any profit, why be in business? Even a nonprofit organization makes profit. They have so much for operating costs, but they have to turn it around, and that's and they have retail merchandising. If I look at Goodwill, you see stores all over. They're retail merchandising. They train people, and then they to go into the retail business. But they also have to think the same way like a business. You know what I mean? Only that the profit is instead of income, it's activities, and goes back to hire more people and train them. You know what I mean? Not only give them the handouts that they need or the help they need, because we all go into like a business cycle. We have good years or bad years, and some years are worse than others, and it could be poor planning. But hey, they're there. They're nonprofit, but they run as a business. They're retail. How do I keep what merchandise? They do it by categories, and you know what I mean, and by pricing is set up. That's very effective, efficient. But so they could turn around and use that money to give back, or use that money to for my own personal gains. That's why you were working. You got to spend it on yourself a little bit, not all for the business, but then also give some money back to the business. So if I could reduce my expenses. Okay, negotiating favorable prices. Lets retailers pass on savings to the customers. I could if I want to, or I could have the customer have to me, but I'm still lower, or I'm at the same quality, at the same price range as my competitors, my direct competitors are. Okay, also favorable non-price negotiation with vendors can add to profitability. We're going to talk about this in discounting. That's when we get into the dating, not dating like going out, but date. I date something. So if I don't make it by this date, I miss the discount. Okay, and we will discuss retail's role as a negotiator. That's what you are. Remember, you take a different role. You act differently with your friends than you do with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner, or you act differently with your what do you call it, at work than you do at the church or synagogue or the mosque or wherever you go, right? You act a lot differently in the bars when you're having a few relaxing drinks, not too much, just to kind of take the edge off after a hard day, a glass of wine or something else. But you see, we play different roles. So just look at it this way. I'm the role of a buyer, and I'm negotiating with someone who wants me to take this and like the product, but I don't want to be too excited. Oh, yeah, I want that, yeah. And then it's going to raise the prices. Those of you who ever do anything with garage sales or go to some of the flea market, if you look too excited, prices goes up. Yeah, I don't know, it's like a piece of junk. But you turn around and sell it as an antique, okay? And we'll talk about transportation terms. Smaller businesses, you get the post office to get some good deals. If you are signing up for a lot of mails, you got a lot of discounts from them because they're competition with UPS and FedEx and everybody else that is out there. And importance of strategic partnership between my vendors and my suppliers, or my transportation what do you call it, vendors, and between retailers and vendors. Okay, you got to have that relationship. You don't rip them off, they don't rip you off. Because once rips off the other, then the word goes out, and no one wins. Everyone's got a bad taste, especially if they're the only vendor in town. Okay, purchase orders. Let's look about purchase orders. When I'm looking at purchase orders, certain things we do, we categorize it by certain, we talked about last time, the hierarchy by departments, by category, depends on the size of the operation. So we'll talk a little bit about purchase orders. These are just some concepts that you could know, basic terminology that you and your vendor should communicate. So when I send a purchase order, whether it's by mail or electronically, most of them are usually electronically, we have the same understanding of what each item means, when the date, how do I take it out. Okay, so let's talk about first now categorizing by types of goods ordered and status. So I'm going to do purchase orders. I'll categorize it. Here's my most current order, or here's the status. It's in progress. It's in, and those of you, if you buy anything with Amazon or any retailer online, you will get a tracking number. They'll tell you your order is going to be here, and you could track it. You know exactly where that order. It's in the process. It's too late. You can't cancel it now. It's already shipped out, or you pay a restocking fee or whatever. Okay, so your purchase orders are filed, and that could be done electronically or manually if you're a small business. Even small businesses, I would use it more electronically. It's easier to find purchase orders that way. Some people like the papers, but the technology's here. You could save it, print it out later. Buyer's purchase becomes official, right? Purchase order. Once I put a purchase order, it means, yes, it's like a contract, for lack of better words. To a purchase order, contractual agreement with the vendor. Just telling me, yes, here's my money. And a lot of times I could do a purchase order, or if you're a business, you'll give them a PI, a purchase order number, and that's just like a contract. That's just like giving them a check. Yes, we approved it, and we'll send it, and I'll bill it. If you have the relationship with their billing department, because you're already established, you got the credit line and all that, they're not going to rip them off, and you know you're going to be a frequent buyer. Okay, and it's something similar you may do with even some of your customers. Okay, specifying the items that's going to be purchased, tells me the delivery dates, the prices, you can't change them, and the payment terms. That's all on my purchase order. Okay, now if I look at advanced orders, commitment to buy something in the future. And a lot of times if you're looking more for manufacturing, I may not know what size or what color really is going to be popular, so I may just reserve manufacturing time, or I may reserve this item in the future. Say I'll buy it, but I want you to send it in the 3 different time periods, that we looked at the calendar, the 454 calendar we talked about earlier. Use it as a gauge for production. Manufacturing just wants to know, yes, we're going to have this, our manufacturing planning open to take this purchase order from you from this advance in the fall or in the spring or in the summer. We just don't know the color combination, but you have that slot already. It's yours. It's like, here's I'm going on vacation, I'm booking a room, so I booked the manufacturing time. And there's other ones, or you can just get it. They have the material up on hand. They buy it if it's you're buying from a wholesaler, and they'll keep it and then later on distribute to it. Or if you're in a larger company like Penny's, they'll put it in their shipping. They already make sure that their logistic or procurement department will have that and sent to you when they buy it as a larger bulk. Okay. Now back orders, order but never ship. Now you have to be careful back order, because the order never shipped, but they haven't billed me yet. And sometimes when they ship, if I don't know it, and smaller business really run into that, they may have a cash flow problem, because here it comes. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this order, and it comes in there. So you have to have the way you categorize your bills. Where its status is it back ordered and ship, and that should be something in your accounts receivable, knowing that will or accounts payable, that will basically take it. For lack of better words, will be taking it'll be debiting that and taking the money out. Okay, or crediting it. Sorry. Okay, substitute with others. Substitute. With other substitute with another type of a good with other similar product, okay, without permission. How's that? Are we good? Without permission from the buyer. Yeah, we're live. I'm live. I'm doing this live. So while I'm teaching, going on, you have it live. Okay. So sometimes you may get a substitute. It may not be right because it had to be a certain color, and now I got to send it back. But they bill you because they're putting the order, and that should be something. If they don't have exactly what I want, and that's the contractual agreement, don't substitute. Otherwise, sometimes you may have hey, I just need something. If it's some kind of a size, substitute something that's similar so I can still sell it. That's the relationship you have. And then you have one, the complete order. You have that. And this one, fill in order, replenish sold out sizes, styles, colors, or basic inventory. Fill in order means it's almost like an automatic. It's like a reorder. You're always going to need these sizes, staple goods. So unless you say otherwise, they'll just reorder. Some of you've got prescription drugs, like a maintenance drug. You don't have to reorder it. It just, here it comes up, just reorder it unless you notify them that something happened. Okay, no order. Merchandise arrives at the retail distribution center, another tongue twister, without supporting an order. What do? I got the goods in there, maybe the paperwork got lost, or the electronics was a glitch, and they come to the distribution center. What are we going to do? Okay? Do I take it into credit? I call them, hey, I got this order, I got this shipment, what do you want me to do? Sometimes you see it at the college I teach at, hey, we got this order but no paper. Who does it belong to? Someone's going to get billed for it. Someone's looking for it. Okay, past due order not delivered by the date. So that's past due. So that means you got to look at it. If it's a critical item, it may slow down your production. You may have to start looking for a substitute good. Remember, when you're doing orders and everything else with your vendor, you have your main primary vendor. Try to have a secondary vendor. He may not get or she may not get as much work, but if something happens, this one strikes or something happens, a catastrophe here, I at least got that relationship. They may try to overcome it and help it. Remember, the secondary vendor, if you're a bigger company, is hoping the first one messes up, so the secondary picks up. You can't have all your eggs in one basket. So if you drop everything else, you have something else. I know it's an old cliche, but it kind of makes sense. If I'm going to have eggs, if I have two baskets, if I drop one, the other one's still safe. I drop in there, I'll lose it all. Okay, now reorder for fast-selling items, not fashion, because it goes real quickly. I just reorder, automatic reorder, and that could kind of tie in a little bit to fill in your order, depending on what kind of agreement you have with your vendor. Remember, these are just the basic ones, just so you have a general understanding when you're in this area and the vendors and you come up with new things. What do I add? What's my reorder? What's my order date? How long will you be able to track it? When could I cancel the order? Okay, how much are you going to charge me for rush orders? Are there rush orders? What's the penalty? When do I got to call in to get the rush order for the next day? Okay, what's the special order? How long do I got to wait? Do I got to pay now? Do I got to pay a 10% discount? Whatever. Remember, you're trying to keep your cash and let the vendor take the burden of it. Give them a down payment. What's the minimum? So don't give them too much. All he wants is $100. I give him $100. Keep the other money. Your retail merchandise. We're talking accounting, finance. We're talking money. Keep that other money. Even if you keep the checking account with a now or a savings account, you get 1% interest. That's more than nothing. So you get a penny and a dollar. Oh, it's nothing. Hey, you got $1,000. This ends up $1, right? Are you okay? Come on. You got 10,000. Come on, do the math. You just add, and then you got compound interest on that. Oh my goodness! And compound interest, you don't do nothing. It just grows, right? Just like your charge card. Just for the charge card. You may want a charge card. And look, when we're going to talk about purchase orders and vendors, I think down the road we'll talk about Visa, MasterCard, and Discovery or American Express. Be careful. Which one? Even though they may have a good thing for the consumer, I like it. How much do I have to pay? I got other ones. That's something you have to look at. But the vendor's going to say, you can only use this, and I'll reduce it. I'll give you all these other trinkets, but you can't accept a Visa, MasterCard, and a lot of people don't carry the American Express, so you're going to have customers walking away. You have to make the determination but you need the credit, so you may have to, I don't want to say sell your soul, but probably sell the business spirit to them, because you have no choice. Okay, negotiating with vendors. What do we have here? It's a two-way communication. Always ask for the moon, and then settle for an island. I'm just kidding. Okay, designed to reach an agreement when two parties, right? Two parties in agreement. You shake. There's two guys. I should have a guy and a girl in here. It doesn't make a difference, right? Remember, in business, I don't care if you're male, female. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your cultural background. You have the product I need. You deliver it. You give me a good price. We're partners. And most businesses like that. We all got our own little quorums about certain people, our own little things about certain people. I don't care what it is. Remember, that's personal. That's your own stuff. You're not going to change it. You grew up, whatever. Get rid of that baggage. That's when you go home. Do whatever you want. In business, it's all business. It's relationship. I look at that person. I'm saying he could or she could supply my need. This organization could supply my need. I try not to get too much into any kind of boycotting one over the other. Someone said, this one's doing this, let's boycott them, let's boycott. That's not my job. Because if I boycott this one, somebody else is supporting that one as a customer base. I try to, I'm not into the politics. I stay neutral. I'm a business, small or large. I may give to some charities, but, like a lot of businesses, they give to politicians, they give to both sides, because they don't know, they don't want to upset anybody. You're all good people, you're all customers, as long as you have my product. And you could help me out at a fair cost. Okay, both have shared and conflicting interests. We all want to get the best deal, Okay, so that's our conflicting interest. Negotiation issues. Let's see at negotiation issues. I'll move along here. Okay, price and margin, right? When I look at negotiating, if I could margin guarantees, markdown. And sometimes if I take the goods and there's some new product that or a new line that the vendor is trying to promote, push toward me, all right? And I said, I don't know if it'll work. I'll tell you what, he says, I'll do it here. If you don't sell it, we'll mark it down. When we mark it down, that means we'll give you the discount. Let's say if I could sell for $20 and only mark it down for $15, that cuts into my gross margin or my profit. They'll make up the $5 difference when they mark it down. They're not going to hurt my gross margin. Not all the time. They may just give me a coupon to the customers, but then they're not going to hurt me. Same thing when you turn into a corporate coupons at McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, wherever you want to go, Wendy's. I'm trying to hit them all. So, oh, you like one? I love all of them. All right, so when you turn that in, it's the corporate one that's sponsoring, the royalties you pay in the franchise. Just understand, the corporation will offset that cost difference that you're losing at the business because you got to reduce it. It's your margin coming off your profit. No, you're equal as long as they have that coupon and they reimburse you on that. Okay? From markdown. So that cover that. And the other one is slotting. When I'm looking at slotting allowance, a charge imposed by retailer to stock a new item in supermarkets. You want to take this spot. Remember, I'm already making money. People are used to this spot. Move this out. So now I'm going to set another vendor. We're going to push you off to the side and put you in there. Nothing wrong with that. I'm looking at every square foot as a dollar sign. We're talking dollars. We're talking finance here. We're going out of the accounting. This is all finance now. When you look at finances, the numbers tell me where I should look at. Finance is what I'm doing. And this is fine. Negotiating the best deal, getting the whole thing. That's part of finance. So when you're looking at not only a buyer has to understand financial concepts and all this, the discounts, everything else we're talking. So if I want to put it in there, I say, okay, I'll put it up there. What do I get out of it? And the other one's a slow sell. Where did you move it? Hey, you're not selling more. Or do you say, I'll give you my sign. I'll pay you. Okay, so for retails, it's efficient use of the valuable space. If I'm going to give up some space and you want your sign there, fine. It's not gaudy or anything else. And if you're going to tell me it's going to increase sales, I'll keep it. But I'm not going to say, okay, I'll keep it for a week. If nothing happens, customers aren't buying that stuff, get that stuff all in the bag, someplace where no one else will see it. I don't care. All right? But you want that, you're going to pay for that premium spot to determine which new products merit inclusion in their assortment. Manufacturers look at that extortion. We're helping them, and you're going to charge me. I'm a business person. That's where the negotiation. That's sometimes some conflict. Sometimes I may not charge them. Hey, that's a good idea. I kind of like that. This site is kind of dead anyway, or it has no color, and this sign will go up. It'll have something else. You'll bring some life to that, and they may say, you may say, hey, well, okay, if you kind of touch up the paint around here because it won't look right. Well, okay, and they may give you an allowance or something. Negotiate. All they could, they may not give you the money, but they may give you a coupon for paint, because they deal with somebody else. Look, I'm a small business owner. Negotiate. You have to be a negotiator now. That's your finance. Okay. Additional markup opportunities you could get. Business purchase terms we'll talk about a little bit. Terms of purchase we'll be talking exclusively just for your business. That means no one else can carry this product line except your this chain. And sometimes you get, if you look at some repair merchandising, some stores, electronics, and there are authorized dealer for, let's say, sewing. That means you could bring your part in there, they could fix it, and it won't damage your warranty, or void your warranty on that. Okay? Advertising allowance and transportation. We'll be talking about that. I better move along here. Okay, a lot of discounts. One vendor's purchase terms and conditions. That's all a discount. This is just a discount. If you a minimum of $350 with account approved, $150, and you see the discounts a lot of times even as your own personal thing. You go into some stores. Here, want to use this our credit card, or you want to be our member or whatever thing. If you are a repeat member for a coffee thing, you get one free or you get some kind of discount. It's no different in business, because in business your sales. If the vendor gets you, if you get a discount from that vendor, you most likely won't switch to another vendor unless you get a discount. And that's why the vendor looks. I give him the discount. He or at least are paying for my loyalty. Okay? So what are discounts? Definition of discount is a reduction in cost of merchandise. I reduce the cost of merchandise. Remember, I subtract my discounts from my cost of goods. That reduces that. That gives me more profitability. But it gives me more profitability, it gives me more taxes. But it gives me a better cash flow. Remember, you have to start thinking. That's finance. How do I do with the number? I'm not manipulating the number. I'm manipulating the dates, when it's coming in. So I'm always maximizing my currency, my little amount. I get as much as I can out of it before I use it all up. Okay. So now I look at quantity discounts, and you see that in our store. Reduction cost based on number of purchases. Non-cumulative discounts. Discount applies to each order placed, so it doesn't add on. I mean, sometimes the coupon says only 2, or just once you just have a certain discount by a larger amount. You can buy 20 if you want. It's still on discount price. Encouraging large orders. And now cumulative discounts is applied to orders placed over time. Encouraging repeat orders, and then look at that as a frequent shopper or something else you keep in mind. You get so many points. Frequent flyer on the airlines, that's a good one. It's cumulative, encouraging repeat orders. Oh, I can get my number. I'm going for the business. I like United or whatever. Well, United's going a little bit. Have some little issues with their what do you call it, computer system, but otherwise they're doing okay. Awards vendors good customers. That's all it is. Okay, so it's a cumulative discount. Seasonal discounts, reduction of costs for goods placed in advance. The manufacturers already produce the winter coats or the summer line outfit. They have it in the warehouse. If I could place an order in advance, I will give you a discount. Now, you can place an order. 2 things happen. You can transfer it to me, and then I take the ownership. We're going to find that out. And now I have to warehouse it, so I'm picking up the cost. Is the discount worth it for the extra electricity, whatever I have to do, so it doesn't get stolen, okay, or damaged or obsolete? Or do I make the advance purchase, but have them hold it, or have them hold it and send it to me as I need it in sequential or chronological order, or a certain time frame that I will determine or set up with that. Then it makes sense. Now the manufacturer knows I got these things already paid for, haven't shipped. Now I only have this other material, this much. I have to find a buyer for it, or reach somebody that'll purchase. Put it back in. Okay? Right? Normal order, retail pays less, but made long-term financial commitment. Okay, so what about more discounting? Vendors. If I offer quality discounts to encourage large orders, require minimum orders, and the smallest order a vendor will accept. And that's usually, if they give you a discount, you don't go play penny. Even though technology could do it, it's not worth it. The discounts is I want to move a lot of material. I want to move a lot of my merchandising out of my warehouse, out of my manufacturer, or at least have some commitment that someone's going to buy it. So I don't want to be messing around with 1 or 2 orders, keeping it back there. Okay, now anticipation. Additional discount for paying an invoice before a cash discounted date is based on ongoing prime interest rate and the number of days that the bill is paid early. Formula. Additional discounts. Okay, invoice balance. So what I'm doing, I turn it in earlier, anticipating they'll give me a discount because they're saving money to get in that. Make sure it's what you have an agreement with your vendor. Some vendors do, some don't. Okay? Okay, now dating. Let's get into dating. Dating. What is dating? The period allowed for repayment and invoice. If you take a business math course, they will go into this. Once in a while I'll teach business math, basic business math, as I mentioned before. They will go into every dating, every time. Now, if I'm a buyer, I missed that date by 1 day. And let's say if I turn in a coupon and I was supposed to get $50 back, and it says the coupons must be submitted by postmark date by July 15th. Okay? I look at July 15th, I pass it, I send it if they got it by July 16th, you don't get a discount. And here I already bought it, hoping for the discount. So your dates are important. Computer technology, make sure you have those dates. Because if you missed the dates and you bought it and you didn't pay them by that date, boom, you're paying the full amount. Sometimes they give you a break, but not too often, because that's part of the agreement. Okay? All right, so let's see. Part of buying is negotiating payment terms. These are stated in the vendor's invoice. Itemized statements listing the goods shipped, the cost and charges, such as transportation and insurance. Okay, you know what the invoice is. Date of invoice is DOI. Date of invoice. A cash discount begins on the date of invoice. Boom. That's when your cash discount. You get the invoice. It begins. Ends at the stated cash discount date. So if you got slow mail, you're messed up. It's the date that the invoice got stamped. Usually they give you 1 or 2 days, figuring it's going to be for mail. Don't worry. They're not here to take advantage of you. Where's the date of invoice that came out today and you just got it today? You got to pay it. Some do, but that's not the way I would do it. Okay? It's usually not set up that way because you're looking like you're being scammed. Okay? Net payment begins on each cash discount date, remember the day of discount, and ends at the net payment date. So if I get 210 net 30, discount may be taken within 10 days of the date of invoice. After the 10 days, I got to pay the full amount, okay, in 30 days. So if I don't get it after 10 days, you got to send it in 11, they don't really care. Might as well keep it and make some money on my side before I send it out. Okay, a common dating expression meaning full payment of invoice is due within 30 days of the date invoice. That's all. Just some little terminology. And net payment date, regular, ordinary dating means the date of invoice is the first date of the payment period. Talked about it. I just put the definition in case you are taking an exam. Remember, you're taking a college level, you have an exam, you may see that. End of the month notification means that the period begins at the end of the month in which the invoice is dated. Here's an example. End of the month, August 15th. Invoice dated 210 and net 30. End of the month means that 2% discount may be taken until September 10th. Remember, this is at the end of the month, September 10th. All right. Payment is due by the September 30th. Okay. Invoice dated on the 25th of the month or later have another month. Just wait in. It's a month. It's more at the end of the month, but it's just the way it looks because it's right there. You can't call it the month. 2% by 10/10. Okay, and payment full by the month of September, the following month of 10 or 30. Okay. All right. Okay. Selecting the dating types. Now here's the dating type. Remember, these are ones you have the concept maps. You're only going to have on this one that you printed out. So add to it. Proximal dating, or prox dating, states the day of the following month by which the cash discount must be taken. So 2% 15 prox date 30 means that 2% discount may be taken through the 15th of next month. Payment is due within the 30 days of the date of invoice. Okay, I can say issue. It means the same thing. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. Advanced dating delays the beginning of the payment using as of. And some of us, if we don't have money in a checking account, we go as of, post dated, and they won't cash it. Because remember, even if you go to Walmart or Kmart, you give them that check, you might as well use your debit card. That's all that check is doing. It's like a paper debit card. You got the money, don't money. Canceled. Okay. So, we August 15th, 30, example, 2% may be taken to 12/15, payment is due 12/31. Look at it. Remember, you can stop me, look at it, and take your time reading. I'm going fast. Remember, when you're doing for exams, I might let you have a little cheat note on this because it's kind of hard to remember all the dates. I just did this one. Okay. Extra dating, it adds more dates to the discount period. Maybe deducted to here. And it's always on the invoice. It lets you know what kind of agreement you may have, or you may have some trouble and say, hey, can I get an extension? And do you want to keep the relationship? Yeah, sure, we'll give you 15 extra days. Like some people, when they do some of my homework, I get an extension. I say I give an extra extension, but 10% off. If you got a real good excuse, I may give an extension. Okay? I'm not that harsh. Okay, delays the dating terms. Receipt of goods dating. Okay, until the goods are received by the retailer. The invoice, August 15, reads 2/10. What do you call it? Receipt of goods. I keep on forgetting this right here. I look at the red, threw me off. Okay, and goods arrive at 9/1. The retailer may deduct 2% through 9/11, and full payment is 9/10. Okay. Okay, cashing date is the immediate dating does not provide for discount. This is the cash date. After this date, no discount. Cash on COD, cash on delivery, and usually that's to ask for some new businesses. I don't know if I got a relationship. You're gonna pay for it. You had the money, so I go cash on delivery, cash in advance, and also usually some people that are in bankruptcy, Chapter 11. They're going in bankruptcy, restructuring. So if you want cash in advance, I still do business, but I need your cash. In Greek economy, everything's cash because the banking is all closed down until they settle it with the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the EU banking system, I think. CBD, cash before delivery, may ask for new business. You got to pay up front. And you see a lot of utilities you want a deposit. If they have cash for the delivery and it's like a deposit for something else, they usually, the law requires that they give you some kind of percentage. You know what I mean? Because they're keeping your money very low. Level of knowledge. Retailers and vendors often negotiate payment terms for long favors, okay? Long term. They don't have to keep on renegotiating. It's like a contract, okay? Let's see, we got computing discounts. What do we have? Cash discount, reduction of the amount based on early payment, no problem. Balance due, build cost minus cash discount. This is what I pay. We all know that. And you look at when you're in the store and it says you got instant coupon reduced. They'll give you the prices, or you have to give them the coupon, and then you see it reduced. And if you look at coupon for retail merchandise, everything's all done electronically. You do it real quickly. A lot of times they even have, for lack of better, apps that you just download. Or additional discount, interest, balance times interest times rate. You've got the math to look at the formulas. Once you look at the discounts, you'll compute it. I know you will. Right? It's no different than when you get your raise. You want to make sure how much you get, or if I'm giving you something, or did I get my discount. You have to be a financial person. Look at it. We negotiated. Did we sign? Shook hands. Did I actually see it? Long-term discounts is interest paid times rate times. If you take finance, mortgage long-term. Retail's profitability over time. Discounts can be dramatically affect. Remember, long-term, how much I paid. That's my expense side. I could write off some of it instead of, but only how much. And so I'm looking for the discounts. Okay, borrowing for short term. Sometimes I need my line of credit, so you had to understand. Look, I got. We may give you a discount to offset your short term loan or your line of credit. Take advantage of your cash discount is common retailing practices. Okay, and then cash discounts decrease the cost of goods sold. They increase the gross margin, or gross margin and profitability, interchangeable. All right. Ultimately net profit. And here's the thing, the PowerPoint, what do I have in here? It's just a regular formula. I'll leave it up there, look at it, right? So it says discounts over time have an impact on retail's profitability. If a retailer forfeits $2,000 discounts on a $100,000 purchase invoice, 210 net 30, the retail's paying 36% to use $100,000 for 20 days. He forfeited. He thought he got it, but he didn't. So you see how much he got? He's paying extra for that. So you don't want to miss. Remember, if you make sure those dates are in there, and you have a person who is diligent and watches the date. Consignment and memorandum goods are not paid for until they sell. Gently used designer apparel. Okay. Here, title passes from vendor to retail. That's all you need to know. Certain cards you get. People got the what do you call it? The NFL ring or something else, and some memorial. Geez, I better get moving here. Okay, transportation. Okay, let's go into transportation. Okay, so now we got the discounts with the vendors. We got the discounts. We got the dates. You have to understand the dates. We're good, right? All that money. You may not get all the discounts, but you could ask for, or you could get some or everything else for the different clothing. But always ask, hey, is there anything in it for me? Anything in it for me? Anything in it for me? If it's in for me, it helps my customers. And because you don't want to be, for me, what about my customers? I want to reduce the customers. Competition's killing me. I got to keep the price down. They may do that to keep you happy in the economy, so utilize them. Once you have the relationship with your vendor, he or she, that's their rep, already knows, and they'll always help you. Or sometimes they may come, hey, I've got this stuff, this one, he canceled out, I got this order, I think it'll work here, I'll discount it to you, and if not, here's the, so they'll guarantee, because they want to return it, they don't want to get stuck with the product, it doesn't do them any good in manufacturing, it's better off on the floor, in a retail, merchandising setting, so it could sell. Okay, so transportation, the retailer arranges for transportation of goods for vendors, right? You have different. Cost-effective transportation can minimize the cost of goods sold and maximize profit. And my cost of good is everything else to get those goods sold and everything else. That's what I pay. Transportation, air conditioning, insurance, all that, accounting. You had that. Now, how do I offset this cost? How do I minimize my cost? Same thing when I order online. Why do I use Amazon? Nothing against Amazon, Google is coming in there. I don't have to pay anything. It's all free shipping, 2 days. I get it. Price is cheaper, shipping's good, returns nice. Why would I want to change? And that's what, I don't even have to leave my home. I could do this between classes. Okay? Okay, now free on board. Free on board means the point at which a supplier pays a transportation charge, not free, up to a certain point, where the title of the good passes the supplier to retail. Once you get it, it's yours. I'll ship it to you free. And it's not really free. It's part of my embedded in my cost when you look at accounting, managerial accounting. So, nothing's free in business. Remember, nothing is free. Nothing is free. So if a vendor's telling you free, it's not free. Someplace embedded in some of the costs, someplace, or he's using it as a marketing or promotion. Someplace somebody's paid for it. Okay, factory. Free on board from the factory. Free on board destination. So this one, the factory is sensitive. Free on board, you don't pay. Freight prepaid. Freight collected. Okay. So freight's prepaid. Somebody already paid for it. Vendor pays the freight and owns it. Okay, it's mine. So if it damages, I got this one twice. Sorry. You got this course, you might see it. Free on board, origin, freight collected. Retailer pays the freight, but vendor owns it. I paid to ship it there. I don't own it till I transfer it, till I get possession of it. Okay, and this one is freight origin, prepaid. It makes sense. I pay up ahead of time. Freight origin prepaid and charge bag. Oh, that's why I got it twice. Okay, so if I'm looking at this one, hey, I'm cleaning up. Come on, we're live, just like in a classroom. This is live. Vendor pays freight, but retail reimburses. So you might have look, and you did this, you got this. What does it mean? Vendor pays freight, but retailer reimburses. Retail owns a good. So now I know who pays for the freight, and who owns the good until I take possession. Okay, so, and there's another one, freight collected, destination freight, retailer. Remember, there's a difference between this one. Retail pays the freight, but it's reimbursed. Vendor owns it. Retail pays the freight. This one's reimbursed, this one's not. Vendor still owns the good. You see the difference? Remember, you can negotiate depending on your relationship and depending on your needs. What works well for you? Vendor pays the freight, retail owns the good. Okay, so if I'm looking at the transportation, again, you're looking with companies, you make the relationship, how could I do this, or do I pass the transportation cost to my vendor? Like Amazon, there's kind of my vendor, for lack of better words. I don't want to deal with it. I could do it myself. UPS, I got to pay that. Hey, take this. But if I want something special, faster, I could ask them, and for a charge, they'll upsize me, upgrade me. Right? I'll get McDonald's after me. Okay, transportation arrangements. Okay, here's the general transportation. If I'm looking at general I'll go real quickly. General information. Okay, here's where we're at. Buyer's responsibility. Understanding and using transportation terms. You have to know those terms. When do I buy? When it's delivered, all that. Because it depends. If I pay for freight and I don't take possession, it gets stolen, I don't worry about it. If I'm in a store, I buy something, like, oh yeah, before I'm going to check online, it drops. Oh geez, it's $50. Hey, it's still yours. I didn't buy it. Bye. But if I take it, drop it outside, the vendor may say, hey, you purchased it, it's yours. Sorry, unless I slip on the ice, other things. You see what I'm talking about? So when do I take possession is important, makes a difference. And when I take possession, that's when it comes onto my balance sheet as it becomes an asset, not a liability. Remember, I got a liability, but I have an asset and a liability if I owe, or unless I paid for it. So it becomes an asset part of my my inventory. Okay, so retail's traffic department. Okay, retailers got a traffic department that's all they do, the shipping. Most larger companies have it. It makes it easier. They're experts on that. They know where to find it. They know all the contacts. They know the pricing. They know which shipper is better, which one is more reliable, which one's the low end, which one is my thrifty customer shipper. Okay, designating effective shipping transportation. And it's no different if you're working for a service industry and retail and you're a travel agency. Certain shippers or certain airlines that you would utilize over the other ones. Okay, transportation rates are no longer government regulated. Retail traffic manager chooses the most suitable rate depending on what they're giving to me. Okay, retail may use consolidators or freight forwards, the people who do it for me, to combine small shipments. Okay, so this is general information. Now, how do I get there? Motor cars, most commonly domestic. Trucks, door to door, they deliver. Railroad trucks, next one. A little more effective, but a little slower to line. Economical for long distance because they go, right? Heavy non-perishable items, Amtrak. And Amtrak uses what they call intermodal transportation. Two models. They have the truck and the trailer. So the truck puts on as a piggyback, and when they bring it in there, the train comes on, they unload the piggyback, and the semi's there, no truck, and the semi just picks up and takes the trailer away, and it saves time. There's no damage, there's no goods, there's no handling from one to the other. The container is the truck. The container is the trailer, which all you need is a semi truck at the other point just to pick it up. And that's where you can get your different motor carriers. If you look at Target, they have their own trailers, but they use independent or different consolidated freightways. Okay, airlines. Like it or not, the most expensive, but the most fastest. Fastest, most expensive. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that. Water carriers, slowest. International, comes all the way over here. To directly import goods from foreign, or you saying your goods, slow but inexpensive. Walmart. Now, what's Walmart? We talked about Walmart. They control all the distribution chain. Operates a private carrier, which means it's theirs. Shipping goods from Walmart distribution centers and to Walmart stores, its own transportation. So they could control it, where they have it, everything's there. The distribution, they control the whole thing, so they control the cost on that. Okay, let's go real quickly to small shipments. Only got about 20 more minutes. U.S. Mail, United Parcel, Federal Express, and Emery Air. Just several different ones that do it. You got Independence. Just for here, that's all the author talked about. All we're going to talk about. Okay, transportation carriers, categorized common carriers, uniform rate schedules, United Airlines, UPS. Contract carriers work for one or more companies under agreement. A lot of times, if I have furniture, they have a contract carrier because they already know they got a relationship. They'll pick it up as flat fee. And I get it off the train or wherever it comes up there, and they pick it up. And private carriers are own equipment. So it's like Walmart or Sears or JB Hunt. They have they just service their own private industries. They're not public, for lack of better words. Okay, distribution centers, receiving, checking, marking, and put away. Put away is storing or shipping directly to the customers, like a job racker that we talked about earlier in the store, but some of them are larger, may ship it and put it away for you, or keep it at their warehouse as you need it. I think LL Beam does that with UPS. So that's why they could, certain items they know they're on sale, just go to their distribution. Right, they're logistics. They only do that. They also do consulting and everything else. Remember, they're the experts. Okay, so they put stuff away, they do it, and then once you return it, they scan it. And once they have their hands, yep, it's okay, boom, they send the other item and credit you. Quickly, painlessly. Okay? And then the other thing the distribution centers do, they're picking the distribution to stores, they're shipping, vendor return, coordinating inbound delivery from suppliers and outbound more shipment. They're the ones who have to, they don't like to leave the trucks empty. That's not very effective, especially a private. Okay, vendor partnership. Partnerships involve strategies for pumping goods through the distribution. Look at it as manufacturer, how to get everything else through the system channel more rapidly. The faster I get it out of my inventory, the faster I get to the customer, the faster they pay, faster he receives it or they receive it, the faster I could get my payment and starts going and improve my cash flow. Everything else that is critical in business that we're covering in the last chapters here. Okay, retailers and suppliers cooperate. They improve profits both sides. Pre-ticketing, so we already know in advance. Case packaging makes it easier. Remember, I'm just supplying to the distributor. It doesn't have to be individual. I just set it in a box cases. Cross-docking the different places I'm bringing it to, from one dock to the other. I could do that for you. Risk-sharing, return agreements, and markdown allowances. So it's a win-win. Someone's got to eat it, or if there's a loss, but then we may share the loss. Okay, larger vendors. Let me just get all this done here real quickly, so you guys supposed to be surprised. Okay, larger vendors. Larger vendors offer retail promotional to help sell the product. The larger ones had the money, not that they had the money, they have the most to lose because they don't get stuck with the inventory. And once they have their distribution, their network, whether it's an intense distribution, or selective distribution. How many people we have? Intense is usually for junk food vending machine. Selective, distribution system, or strategically placed to make helps me. I could give you discounts because I got to pay my cost, but I want to move materials. Economies of scale in reverse. Okay, so we have that. They do cooperative advertising. We mentioned before in the earlier chapters, shared promotional advertising. Hey, I just got to put the logo on it, but I get name recognition. Product demonstrations. They will have their vendors or somebody else setting up the booths and showing the products to your customers or to your staff so they could adequately show it to your customers or train your customer base if needed. Gift with a purchase is kind of always nice. It's not bribery at a certain amount. If in question about, talk to your manager. Purchase with a purchase, okay? And then you have contest sweepstakes, vendor, manufacturer reps. Remember, you have the reps. I can't afford a salesperson, but I'm a manufacturer. I may use my own or contract somebody else's out. Display and exhibits. I was looking at someone that was doing something with Frito-Lays, and they had the Star Wars and everything else, or the Hulk. Big display. What I mean? And then they were getting rid of it, and then I said, well, have to get rid of it. Hey, can I bring it home to the kid? Instead of getting rid of those displays, you could have a raffle at the store. Somebody wants to take this home. Kid, if you find some interest, say what do you like about the store. Why throw it away? People want it in their room. It doesn't cost me nothing. I got it for nothing. Put it on there. Still sound. Wow, Hulk! Look at that. Let's get the name. So you get secondary. I'm thinking like a marketer. Come on, do something with it. You're gonna trash it. You gotta pay for the trash. Here you give it away if it's not trashed too badly. Okay, for free. Just give it away because you don't want the distributor to give it to you for free. I tell you this, could I do that? You may think it's fun. Give it to somebody else, some nurseries or high school or something else. You can do stuff with it. All right. Display and fixture. You can bring displays and fixtures that I don't have to make their signs look floor ready. When they talk floor ready, that means when I get the supplies and everything else coming in, the vendors promotion, and they already have the security tags in there. When I have my buttons button, this one, I just noticed that on camera. Oh geez, what am I gonna do? Just kidding. I'm live. Okay, they would have the tags already in there, and remember, they're talking the radio frequency. Most of the new things going forward, you're going to forget the tags and everything else. Everything else is going to have a microchip. Your milk, everything else is all microchip with this RFID, radio frequency identification tag. It's so small. Now when I get the shipment, I don't have to worry about someone stealing. They just know. I don't have to do anything else. I can scan it. I know if it came from my lot or this lot, or they brought it at Walmart trying to bring it back to Target because the prices are higher and I lost my receipt. Makes life different. Makes life easier for me. There's a privacy issue. That's another issue. I'm just a store. This is what's they're already coming to me. I don't have to buy my own tags. I don't have to do anything else. That's a plus. How much time do I have to spend to put all those tags in there if it already comes from the vendor? And they give me a discount on using their machines, security. Okay, and when I look at cross-pack, what it is, mostly tools. They come in certain bios. Shoe vendors, cross-pack shipments with standard assortment. So I just ordered this thing. Here's what I want. Give me the standard size. What do you want? What did I order last time? You have to give me the same thing. And remember, some are reorders. The problem with reorders for merchandising from the vendor side, I'm here more retail merchandising. Don't get too comfortable with reorders. Always check to make sure that you can't get a discount from reorders. They forget about it, and it's automatic. You just keep on signing up, and then looking, wait a minute, what am I paying it? I haven't used the gym for the last 2 years, but I pay for it every month because I got it in automatic billing. And sometimes a vendor will do that to you. Makes it easier. Does it make sense? Always check it, okay? So you got cross-dock electronic exchange. Once this is canceled or in the system with the point of purchase, it basically gets sent back to the supplier. Everyone knows it. It goes to my accounting. It credits. It goes to my inventory. It gives me all this information. The vendor already knows I need another one. That size that is already sold, and they'll send it. And they're both tracking. I'm tracking here how the material is moving. The vendor is tracking to see how much I'm selling, how much I'm buying. Okay, shorten lead time, greater efficiency, increased profitability. Profitability, number one. And I don't have to wait. The shipment, once I know it, and it's my safety stock is 6, and now I'm right in my safety stock to start sending me the next order, if I have it set up that way. Markdown allowance is a strategy through which a retailer negotiates favorable wholesale prices. Remember, if I can negotiate because I'm buying by so much, or I'm going to try your product, I get a discount on that. Okay. Now, this last one here is a Matrix Ventrix, and we're almost done. Okay, let me just turn these off. This we can focus. What is a Vender matrix? It's a list of preferred vendors selected at a conglomerate level, the high level. If Target were to select Heinz to sell its various lines of the Target's department or discount stores, remember Target department stores, and you got discount for certain mutual advantages to work together. Remember, it's a matrix. These are the ones. Heinz will do all my stores. What do we get in things? They'll ship in a time. They'll give me this. I get this massive discount when I was working with ComEd, and we're doing with the vendor. I think it was AT&T, the relationship. We could lose the phones, break the phones. Our discount, they just replace it, no questions asked. Why? Because we're using it. They're not making money off the phones. They're making money off the contract of utilizing the higher volume, and they'll get us on the next contract. So man, so many phones are broken. Now your maintenance charge is higher, but this year we'll live with it because they're testing out. Now I got a commitment, so I go to the other vendor. Do you want that? The Verizon? I don't know. I don't want to give that. Remember, it's the same kind of agreement you had with American Express had with Costco. Okay, the decision to include a vendor in a matrix. Okay, product line capability. When I'm looking at this matrix, does their product line compatible with me? Not only the product line, you're looking at the value system, the mission. Does it make sense for them to need to be associated with that vendor? If I'm associated with that vendor is using child labor laws or whatever, using materials or questionable ingredients. Do I want, even though I got a good price and the ingredients they get, I have no problems with it, but they have another market that is very questionable. Do I want to be associated with that vendor? Part of first of all, do I want to be associated? Second, that's the first thing is my product compatible? Do I need it? Secondly, the brand. Because remember, I'm a reflection of who I associate or who I have contractual agreements with. Okay, favorable price negotiation, various forms of vendor support, vendor relationship to avoid conflicts of interest. Most retail prohibit buyers from accepting gifts from vendors. It depends up to $50. Or if it's too high, just talk to your and here's something that talked about supplier statement of policy. Part of businesses, I give them a gift, a trinket. If I get a gift that's more than $50 and it comes to me because they want to, hey, they're not swaying my things. I already bought it. They're all done. I'm happy with my service, and they give it to me. Do I take it home? I got a policy? No, I give it out to the team. I give it out to the workers who work for. Here you go. Here, have fun with it. I said, look, I got this. Everyone's got that. So everyone's sure. So they say, hey, George is still enforcing a policy because they say if you got something that's questionable, ask me. I can say it's okay, but if not, then don't accept it because I don't want to look like a payment or a bribe. You know what I mean? You got to be very careful, and don't give anything to any kind of politician, no matter what, because it'll be looked as a bribe. And that's their laws. Sometimes I would work with the military or the governmental. They're not like accepting any kind of bribe, nothing. No drink it, nothing, not even a lunch. I can't take them out on lunch. So when I talk to them, I say, hey, take me out for lunch then. I don't have any problems with that. But you can't, I can't buy your lunch, okay? Okay, suppliers and retail, but this is something I can still bring in there and say, here, I bought cookies and donuts for everybody. It's just nothing big. It's just I'm being friendly. I'm a friendly neighbor. It's a little different. Remember, not buying them out. I just come in there and say, hey, while I'm here, do you mind? I got some donuts. Here, share my sandwich with me. Don't be, don't get the person fired. Don't do anything. Follow the rules and everything else. But use your common sense. You know what I mean? We're not in a military or even a prison has more flexibility, but you still have to follow the rules and the requirements. So, there's other ways to be nice and build a relationship other than buying gifts or anything else. Do give your product on time, give them the discounts, be there when you need them, and be there very supportive. Forget all that gifts. That's just, oh, fine, nice, I give it away, I don't use it. It's just a nice gesture. But if you do all that, you are more than someone that gives me a TV and gives me a car. I don't know, maybe a car. I'm just kidding. TV or a car or some big item, and they're always late on delivery. I'm losing money in the long run. I lose my job, my customer, not worth the thing. And then all of a sudden I got a federal investigation because they think I'm paying somebody off or I'm being paid off or price controls. Not worth it, okay? Remember? But if you have a dealer that is questionable and you have a dealer or a vendor that is the same thing with a vendor, that there's something going on, I don't feel right, I don't have to sell to you. Free country. I don't have to sell to you. I just have the right to refuse to deal with anyone they choose. I can't do that because I'm the only supplier, and I'm not selling to you because I got a business like yours, and I'm selling to me, I'm not selling to you, and I'm the only supplier or distribution center, and I used to, and now I'm just going to cut you off just to penalize you for mine. Now that's less than competition. I think China is doing something like that because they got some metal raw material ingredient that they need for electronics, and they have an abundance of that. So they put a restriction on that. So what happened? People are upset to raise the prices. They could do that. It's a country. Okay, fine. But they found another source. Now they're trying to get them back. Remember, you lock them up, we'll find a substitute source. And sometimes you can't, so you got a short term. Once I find a substitute short, you're gone. You don't want to have that relationship with a vendor. And if you feel something's not right with the vendor, unless you're not being, it's not it has anything to do with competition with this, you're being fair. It's just that there's something questionable. You don't, just like I don't have to go to every store that are out there. I don't feel this store is not mine. If you're a consultant, you may not feel right if they're doing something with just against your religion or your moral values. I don't have to market to them, or I don't have to work with you. I said, there's a moral issue. You're discriminating. I'm not discriminating. It's moral. There's other competitions. Where you want me? You can find somebody else. I just want to make sure, because a lot of people get stuck in bad relationships that you don't have to. All right. So that took care of that. Hey, we've done it. I think I'm a little bit over an hour this time. I said that last time I ended up with 55 minutes. Let me make this just a bit smaller so we all could see. Okay, got 150. Bring that up here, move that over. Right about here, usually my face is in here. Okay, so we talked about the introduction, we talked about prices, you know that you take different roles. This whole thing is about negotiating. Some of you negotiate the prices, give me the discounts. I'm a new product, negotiate. The vendor wants something, it's a two-way street, just like you do in any kind of relationship. You give some, I give some, we both win, we go forward. The other thing is, how do I look at different pricing? Who pays for the shipping? That's all part of negotiation. It may not be as front forward as discounting, but anything that reduces my cost of goods sold. That means I got to pay for transportation, who's warehousing, sometimes how do I improve my cash flow. So when I'm looking at all these last chapters we've covered, starting from accounting to pricing to inventory, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. And I'm not trying to be like, oh man, you're just all about the money. I'm a business person. You go to work, it's about the money. You have to, and not to rip off money or to get it deceitfully or to lie or different ways, scam to get the money. Being honest, being fairly, and I negotiate just like I would buying something. You go to a car, you don't get the first price. Hey, what are you doing about this? Not too high, too high. You work your way down, or as you walk out of the store, find another place as a competitor. Sometimes they want their business to get you. If they have no other business, they'll drop down. If all the competitors are low, they don't want you to walking out. You have to look at things. When is a good time to negotiate? Other times, economy's bad, they're suffering, you're suffering. Hey, you can't get that discount. If I'm selling more, or if they want something from me, and but don't be like something else. I'm always taking. You have to give back. If you're taking, you're not gonna get anything. You take and you give some. So okay, I gave you this one. I got this goods. I gave you the discount last time. I got stuck with this. This is your rep. Oh, she's like, you know what? I'll take it. I don't really want it. But I think I can sell. I'll help you out. Next time you're in a bind, he'll help you out, or she'll help you out. That rep remembered. They're cause that's where they make their goals, and they got the job, or they got their promotions, or their bonuses. So remember, it's a two-way street. Don't take advantage of your customers. Don't take advantage of your employees. Don't take advantage of suppliers. What they say, the golden rule: treat everyone equally, how you like to be treated. Some people like to be treated mean. The majority of people treat them honestly, respectfully. You'll be surprised. Your business will flourish. You'll have that good name, and customers will come to you. Some are gonna some are gonna scam you, some are gonna rip you off. But majority, 90%, 95% of individuals are fairly honest, and they're not out there. Unless something happens and they're structure. Okay, so we covered everything. Long-term discounts, cash. You're the negotiator. Don't be afraid. You're not being rude. Hey, what about discount this? Oh man, that's a lot. I don't want my boss to go to it. Man, I can't afford it. What can I look? To think about how you act when you're trying to buy a car. I don't know. My wife won't do that. My husband won't do this. What am I only got so much. How much money you got? Oh, okay, maybe let me talk to the boss. We could discount this. Do you really want this hi-fi TV or we could discount? We could do something with you. Remember, they could do something. They write it off to selling, but they're building a relationship, figuring you're going to come back for more. All right? So my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and this is Retail Merchandising. Today we talked a lot in Chapter 14, Purchasing Terms. And this course here is, remember, a lot of community colleges have the classes. I always throw that in. In every class, you get your money's worth. You get a good, solid foundation. You, as an owner, could learn here, and you don't have to leave your site. Your tax base is paying for the instructors. A lot of community colleges have a whole department just for businesses to be specific. Or this is a college-level course. Send your employees there. Come yourself. Get your credits. Take a class here, extra benefit. The more they know, the better they could help your business, the better other ways. If you're already in this business, you understand this, you could look at this and you could say, I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. Oh, yeah, what about that? It's like anything else. I'm good at it, whatever I do. I play, but then if I'm losing the game, I go back to the basics and I go, oh, yeah, I twist it. Someplace along we change, something happened. So here's everything you have. It's not that hard. Remember, the county's putting the numbers in. This is all common sense. You have to negotiate, and don't worry about all these different terms and everything else. You have, depending on your business, certain discounts you may not have the other discounts. Take the business math class that's offered. Right now, this is a course in retail merchandising is offered at Harper. The business math class gives you into very good detail. You just start with the calculator, and I'm not selling that. I'm just telling that's a good basic for retail merchandising. Looking, what do I do? You could learn how to use a calculator, the spreadsheets, real general overview to add on to what you're learning to this last chapter in this retail merchandising class. And it's not only at Harper College. All community colleges have a basic business math just to get you started, or you have the Small Business Association that's usually attached with a lot of community college. A lot of resources for retail merchandising, small and large. Utilize us. We love you. All right, and I'll see you in our next series. Bye.